Hey, what's up my future friends? It's Kite 080 from Music's The Hang Up. It's been a long time since we had a chance to talk. I'm sorry that I'm missing on Twitter. For those that don't know, I'm kind of in a weird place in China right now where I don't have access to VPN and stuff, mainly because there's like sensitive whatever going on right now. Don't want to talk about it, but the cool thing is I've been able to stay up to date with the news, at least through Bandcamp. So I've been looking at all the digital releases that have come out, as well as the physical, and then whatever private or the public emails that these artists are sending out, the labels are sending out. I've been covering those too on the daily news. So I haven't really missed in on the action, just been missing the faces and the people that I normally talk to. Kind of sucks, and well, hopefully next week or maybe this weekend I'll have access to normal internet again and things will be back to normal. For those that don't know, I am going to be leaving China at the end of this month, and then I'm going to be traveling around a little bit. So I'll be back to normal schedule. I'll be having normal internet, and we won't face this issue anytime in the near future because I don't think I'm coming back. So without further ado, let's get into the news. We are covering today some artist news, some label news, and then some physical releases. So yeah, let's get into it. Man. First up, let's talk about some label news. Two that I just want to talk about real quick. Vapor Reality, they're a Hong Kong-based label, Vaporwave label, and they kind of just release like very experimental vaporwave and just all over the place with ambient and stuff. Well, this whole week, weirdly enough, they've been releasing one album a day for the specific day of the week. So starting off Monday, it was Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, and by I think Tuesday I picked up on this little theme that was occurring. And then they sent out an email on Wednesday saying they're going to be releasing one of these albums every day for the rest of the week. So it's kind of interesting. The albums are very vaporwave-esque. They stayed true to the roots, and they've got that gritty sound that the early vaporwave has. I'm digging it. It's cool to see this kind of album come out every single day. I should contact the label because I'm not exactly sure if it's a single artist that's releasing these or if it's the label that's releasing these, but it's like the album, the artist is called Monday, the album will be called Monday, and then like sometimes all the songs are called Monday, or like whatever day of the week it is, right? So today is Friday, if you're listening to this today, and we're going to be seeing Friday come out hopefully, and I'm interested in seeing what that sounds like. So yeah, definitely check that out on Vapor Reality's label. I'll put a link in the show notes. Next up, Palm 84. They're an amazing label. They've been putting out a lot of great cassettes lately. Well, they said that this week they're going to be slowing down to just one physical release a month. And I guess the idea is the past 3 months they've kind of collected a huge amount of cassettes that need to be sent out. And the company that they're working with that produces these, it's just slower than they were imagining. So instead of giving people long wait times and all that kind of stuff for when they get their physical medium, they're just gonna release once a month and just make it a lot easier on themselves and just overall the whole process. As of recently, they just released a vinyl with Desert Sand Feels Warm at Night, the Sparkling Water vinyl, which is awesome. It's a really good ambient record. And then they also just recently announced Volume 128, which is actually a re-release by Silver Richards. It was originally on Fortune 500, and it's a great record, very original vaporwave sound, all the way from like 2014. So both of those vinyl are still available, and yeah, definitely go check that out. I'll put a link in the show notes. So that pretty much covers it for the label side of things. Let's talk about some artist news. Night Tempo, he just announced his album Showa Idol Groove #2 is going to be coming out, and that's going to be coming out for free digitally. So it's going to be free to download on Bandcamp, and I think that's kind of nice of him to do, and it's definitely going to hype up the album, so definitely check that out. It does come out, let me check, June 15th. Alright, so definitely wait for that to come around. On some sad news for artist, Kiaroshi, you can see his name right here. He decided that he's going to come out with a public announcement that he's going to slow down on his music production career. He got a new job at Plaid Dog Records, which is in Boston, which is pretty cool. So he hasn't like left the music scene at all. It's just he doesn't have time that he can focus on making music. He's also working on his MBA. So if you want to support him and you want to pass around his music, because he was saying that the only reason why he really does this is just so people can listen to music, right? So if you want to support him, definitely go check out his albums. He's got 2 out, I believe, on Bandcamp at the moment, and recently just one of this year. So it's great music, and I don't know, sad to see him go, but I'm sure he'll stick around and stay in the scene, and you can definitely follow him on Twitter, and I'll put a link to all this in the show notes. Moving on to physical releases, just a couple here. VCR Classic, there's been a restock of this release on cassette, and just wanted to announce that it is available currently on Chimin Naga's Records. I'll put a link in the show notes. Alternate Skies, he has a cassette out called Digital Forecast. It's on cassette and it's now available at 10% off if you use the code SKIES. This isn't an advertisement or anything from his side. It's just he put a post out on Bandcamp and just wanted to promote that. So if you haven't had a chance to pick up that cassette yet, it is still available and you can get it for 10% off. It's awesome climate wave type vaporwave music. I'm kind of really digging that style right now. I actually kind of want to work on a music video for that kind of genre. And I don't know, I've talked to Alternate Skies on putting together some kind of like train scene or like a metro scene. Just haven't had the time to fully build it out, mainly because my inability to create 3D worlds has met my expectations. So that's why there's been a hold up on that. But I am working with him on possibly a climate wave music video. And yeah, definitely check out that cassette. And if you want to get it, there goes 10% off with the code SKIES. On the same vein of SKIES, Akiro, his album Stratosphere is getting a repress, and it will be available this Saturday on his Bandcamp. I'll put a link to that on the show notes. It did originally come out on vinyl, and I know Pat Chennington was super hyped about this album, even did a little review on it. So if you haven't heard it yet, it's pretty cool. It's an interesting take on the Vaporwave. I suppose it's a little more experimental than what I guess I'm used to hearing. There's like a lot of clicking in the background and I did an interview with him and we talked about it. So if you want to hear my whole take on what we talked about, definitely check out that interview so you can catch all the information that we had. And finally, lastly of this week's news, we have a mini disc coming out on Aloe City Records. It comes out this Friday at 9 p.m. But if you're a mini disc collector and you know exactly what album I'm talking about, you already know that you're hyped about this. It's the one that has the full print of the female girl's face. It's like that purple and blue. This is kind of where I kind of lose the ability to, you know what? I'm going to use Bing Translate to pronounce this so you guys can look it up. I don't even know if that's going to help you by me even pronouncing it or having it pronounce it. Don't want you to miss that. Also, if you're not already aware, I do have a calendar on musicstohangup.com where I put all the physical, digital, and concert releases on a beautiful calendar so you can always stay up to date. Even during this time while I've been away because of the VPN issues, I've been updating that calendar every single day. So if you want to see what is coming out in the future, this is a great way for you to find it. Or you could take a pro tip like I do, subscribe to your favorite artist on Bandcamp. It helps them out because then they're able to get a message out to you. You know exactly whenever their releases are coming out and you get a nice email about it. So that's one way that I'm getting a lot of my news. And luckily I have been doing that, or else I would have missed out on a lot of this information. So yeah, that's a pro tip. Anyway, I hope to definitely be back by next week. If you guys didn't already check out on, Tuesday, I did put out a normal episode. It was 5 albums that I think you should listen to kickstart your summer. Don't want to give them away now, so definitely go check that out. It is in podcast form because I don't have access to YouTube to upload it as an episode. But yeah, definitely check that out if you're looking for some new Vaporwave music to pick up for this summer. I hope you guys are having a great summer thus far, just starting off, and yeah, we'll stay in contact. If you want to email me, it is contact@musicstohangup.com. A lot of people have contacted me, and I really, really appreciate it because during this whole blackout, I really can't talk to anyone. So I don't have access to Twitter or Reddit or anything, and just email, which is hosted on my own private email. I don't have access to my Gmail, right? So it's been nice to get the emails. I really appreciate talking to everyone and getting your updates and just keeping me in the loop in the scene. And it just means a lot that it kind of shows that I am integrated in the scene and people actually care about me. And you know, that's kind of something I think a lot of people, especially artists, you know, maybe you listen to some of their albums and it affects you, but they don't know because they're small, and you know, they maybe only get 100 listens a week or maybe even a month. Let them know, you know, even just these small emails for me mean a huge world of difference, right? So imagine the same thing for the artists that you really like in the scene. So send them maybe a tweet or send them a contact on Bandcamp. You can privately contact people on Bandcamp, or maybe even leave a review on their SoundCloud. I think people really appreciate that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm Kite 0080. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is Music's the Hang Up. Cheers.